I'm going to show you how I'm doing keyword research for the $200,000 investment that I'm making into content for the authority website that I'm building. Now, since you're probably not familiar with me and what I'm up to, look for my most recent video, literally the most recent last video I published in the feed, where I explain my blog website, how it's performed over the last year, and this big investment into content that I'm making. Subsequently, well, this is how I'm doing the keyword research for it. So if you are looking into getting into a website business or blogging business or building an authority website, or maybe you're already in that space and looking to go further into it, this is going to shed a lot of insight into keyword research. So here we go. First and foremost, I use SEMrush for my keyword research. Yes, there are other tools out there, but this one has kind of been the one that I've came back to. I've tried them all, and this has become my favorite. Cost roughly $100 a month. You could sign up for a free trial and cancel in the 7-day period and bang out this whole keyword research if you wanted to do it like that. I'm a big fan of using paid tools. I do not try to hack around with free tools. Time is money ultimately, and when I'm using paid tools, well, I'm using paid tools because they save me time. Obviously, a lot of this stuff you could kind of piecemeal together from other sources, and kind of get it for free like that. I don't do it that way. I like having the best tools. The better tools I have, the better work I can do, and ultimately more money I can make, and the faster I can make it. So yeah, SEMrush is what I'm using for this. So let's pick a niche, and just kind of mentally in my head, I picked the fishing boat niche, right? And maybe that's a good niche, maybe it's not. Feel free to jump into that niche if you want. I'm not going to be doing anything with that niche. It's just a random niche, and then no, that's not the one that I'm working on if that's kind of not already clear. So I'm not going to be using my own live site as an example here, but let's just start with SEMrush and type in the big niche topic, fishing boats. That's more of a, I don't want to say, that's bigger than a niche. I think there'll probably be a few small niches in there. So here we go. It's going to pop up all of the results. And the first thing that we want to do is look for our big ticket keywords, high volume keywords. And these ones could have a lot of content within them, or a lot of subtopics or sub-posts or supporting posts as I call them. So basically how I format my plan here is we go, where's my new document? There we go. Let me zoom in on this too. No, that didn't work. We do pillar content and supporting content. Okay. So the pillar content, this is going to need to be long form content on very high volume keywords. Supporting content, this is where you're looking for the keywords that's going to be shorter in form and also going to kind of serve a particular very niche search query that's low in competition. All right, I talked about this a lot in the last video that I recorded, but these ones here that I'm doing for my site, we're sinking, I think, about $1,300 into each one of these. We're outsourcing the writing at 10 cents a word, a few thousand words. We're getting custom illustrations done for them. They're going to be truly value-added, informative pieces that nobody else not easily can replicate online. And then the supporting content, that's more of just your generic blog content. We're going to start by looking for what is essentially the keywords for the pillar content. All right, so let's just look at it. We typed in fishing boats, and then we're going to go right here to keyword variations using the handy dandy keyword magic tool there in SEMrush. Okay, and here we go. Let's look for some of these that we'd want to incorporate into our niche site. I'm not too big into the for sale thing, because on those you get a lot of classified type of website, classified ad type of sites. Maybe there's some way you could work it into it that I'm not realizing, but it's just not my favorite thing to do, or I don't see it being valuable. So small fishing boats, fishing pontoon boats, aluminum fishing boats, right? Or at this point, we're not caring about keyword density, or not keyword density, yeah, keyword density, right? Or keyword difficulty. I should know what that column is. I've looked at it a million times. Keyword difficulty. I don't worry about keyword density at all. So keyword difficulty, not worrying about that. What we're looking for are high volume topics. Inflatable fishing boats, fish and ski boats, maybe fishing boat rentals, Fishing rod holders for boats. Okay, that's a good one. Bass fishing boats. Charter boat fishing, I'm just not crazy about. I'm also not crazy about the rentals, so I'm going to remove that. Fish finder for boats. Sport fishing boats. Center console fishing boats. Uh, Lund fishing boats. Saltwater. Cheap. Deep sea. Maybe best fishing boats. I'll take this down to volume of 2,000. All right. I guess I'll go a little bit further. I'm not really seeing anything too crazy. So we got a few of them right there. And now let's add these to our keyword manager. And I'm just going to put seed/pillar keywords. That's what we identified. Okay. So they are on the list. So now let's start by kind of going in here and picking one of these and delving deeper into it. All right, we've primarily got, what is going to be our pillar content. If we can create a pillar piece on fishing pontoon boats or aluminum fishing boats or inflatable fishing boats, that would rank and get a ton of traffic. But let's be real, a new site isn't going to do that. So what's important is all the supporting content. And this is where you start publishing. And so we're always going to start publishing with the supporting content, at least on a new site. So let's kind of look through this and pick one of these out. We'll go aluminum fishing boats. That should put us back on a screen I recognize. Yeah, it's going to put us on this screen. And then go on this. And now we'll start kind of looking for all of the seeds, the seeds for supporting content, I should say. Now, I shouldn't say seed content because that's what I'm referring to in the context of pillar content, but supporting content is what we're going to look for right here, right? So aluminum, right? And so here's best. There's small aluminum fishing boat brands, used aluminum fishing boats. Maybe you could put a guide to buying a used aluminum fishing boat on that. Aluminum fishing boat ideas, aluminum fishing boat accessories. Best aluminum fishing boat for the money, maybe. Aluminum center console fishing boats. And there's one step I forgot in this here, and that is to sort, or not sort, but filter the keyword by 50% difficulty. So we want the easy money. Now, let me kind of talk a little bit about keyword difficulty right here. I've found that keywords that are below 50% on SEMrush, if you put out a very, very good piece of content on it, even if you have no links and your site is pretty new, you will rank for it, right? So that's kind of why I like to use that 50% threshold. And in that, you can typically find some good keywords, right? If you put it down to 15 to 29, you're probably not going to find anything that has much substance, either high volume or purchase intent or anything that you can really monetize. It's just going to be kind of random crap. It'll be random crap that you can't actually write about. 50, you'll find a lot of topics, and when you read it, just the definition at that possible level below 50, you will need well-structured and unique content. And that's basically what I'm saying, and that has been accurate in my findings of publishing content. If it's, keyword difficulty at 50% or less, it's pretty easy if we publish something good, right? So here we go, but these are all pretty much below 50. Well, they are now because I filtered them. So we got best small used aluminum fishing boats, aluminum fishing boat ideas, aluminum fishing boat accessories, customizing. I don't know what Fisher aluminum boats is, but we'll add that. Aluminum center console, aluminum offshore, best aluminum fishing boat for rough water, custom aluminum, deep V aluminum fishing boats. And we want to get 5 to 20 of them. I'm going to stop the list right there. Actually, yeah, aluminum fishing boat with cabin. Best aluminum boats for saltwater fishing, right? So we'll do that, and then we're going to add these to the keyword manager, and we're going to create a new list. We're just going to call this aluminum fishing boat supports. Boom. So these are topics that we can use for the supporting content, and actually we should use all of them. Now let's go on to another thing, because you might be overlooking keywords here. So first up, we can switch these to questions. There might not be any questions on them. Who makes the best aluminum fishing boat? I guess that's one we could do. How to mount a fish finder on an aluminum boat. So we'll put them in there. Questions works. The other thing we can do is we can start looking at, and you know what, I just kind of caught it here, but I don't think we added those last keywords to the manager. It didn't save them. That's only 2 out of 1,000. So let's go back. Let me add these real quick, and then we'll go on to kind of the next thing we can do here. Used aluminum fishing boats. There we go. So to the keyword manager, put them on there. All right, there we go. Now our count's up to 14. What we can do next is we can look for sites that are already publishing in this space, and then see what their keywords are too. See what they're going for, and see what they're indexed for. That'll typically flesh out keywords that we haven't picked up on yet. So let's just kind of find one of these, and here is used aluminum fishing boats. Let's Google it. Do a search, and we want to look for a big content publisher on it, and should be like an authority or niche sites, not the classified listings, which we're probably going to run into here. Maybe Discover Boating might have some. Goats. I meant to type in guide. What was I thinking? There we go. Discover Boating. Let's see what these sites looks like. Right. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the best one. I mean, you could do them, and you probably should do quite a few sites. I like to pick probably about 5 websites that I'm going to kind of reverse engineer. Discover Boating looks to be a pretty good site that's going to have a lot out there on it. So then what we can do is we can take that, come back to it, come back to SEMrush, right? Pop it in Domain Manager. Here we're going to get an overview of the traffic for this domain, but we're looking for the organic stuff. All right, so here are all the keywords. And once it loads, it's going to take it. It's taking it a while. Is it loading? Load, load, load. We can go to filter, and now we can just put in aluminum. All right. So here we go. Then we can do sorting by volume. I like to go for the, I like to go and find the high volume keywords. So let's see. Okay, there's a lot here. Aluminum bass boats. I didn't expect to see that. Aluminum John boats. Aluminum center console boats. I think we don't have that. Aluminum fishing boats for sale. Ranger aluminum boats. I mean, there is just an absolute ton of them. Aluminum jet boat. That sounds fun. We'll put that on the list, right? When you get so many like these, let's go back. Let's go ahead and put these down to 50. When you get so many, it's time to apply that filter, and you want to kind of look for that keyword difficulty below 50%. So aluminum flat bottom boat. I don't know about rowboat, but bay boats, aluminum versus fiberglass. So many good keywords here that can become something. So we'll add them to Keyword Manager, to the aluminum fishing boat supports. Now we got 22 of them, right? And then let's just go in here and see if we can't filter these down to questions. That would be cool if we could. No, we can't. The question feature is pretty cool, but it doesn't look like we can do it. At least not from this. So you can only do the questions when you're searching by keyword, not by domain. But that has gotten us 22 pieces of supporting content, right? So now we can come back to, if we go back to Keyword Manager here, and I think that's in advertising, we go Keyword Manager. Here's our seed/pillar keywords again. And now, I like to start from going with the high volume. We did aluminum. We can repeat that whole process of going keyword by keyword for the pillars, right? And using that to delve into our support. So if we come back here, or we say we got 15 seed/pillar topics, and some people might call these silos. I like to, in the way I'm doing it, these are pieces that we're going to publish. And I'll explain, I guess, how you should do that too. But if you come through here and you say, let's just say you get 10 of them for each one of these, you get 150 pieces of content, right? Well, go out there and then publish all of those 150 pieces of content and then see which silo is doing the best. After you publish all those 150 pieces of content, you might find that bass fishing boats, right? Like everything kind of around bass fishing boats just seems to accelerate. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but on my site I've noticed this too. There's these little silos, and oftentimes it's unintended. It's just like random. They just get so much momentum and do so well, right? So in that case, if the silo and all of your content, all your supporting content for bass fishing boats is doing well, then it might be time to make a comprehensive guide to bass fishing boats and rank for this pillar topic here. So, if you're starting a new site, flesh everything out, then start knocking out all of your supporting content, then come back, see what has got momentum, and then go for your big seed pillar keywords. In my case, I'm kind of just going at it with this big brute force attack, but that's because my site is aged, and as I said, we've already got, I don't know if I said in this video, but in another video, we've got about 300 posts on there. So we can kind of attack those big pillar keywords with some really solid pillar content, and we're pretty much indexing right up into the top 3 pages, into the top 30 rankings, and some of them are already at this point kind of showing up on page 1. I think we got 2 or 3 on page 1 for some very high volume search terms. So that is it. That's how I'm doing all this keyword research. Actually, hold on, not done yet. Yeah, let me show you this one other thing before we sign off, and that is how I'm organizing all of this stuff in Excel essentially and keeping track of it. Once we get all the keywords out, what I did is come back here and I just export my list. So I click all of them and then I export to Excel. All right, so we did it for that list. Basically, I take these all and combine them into one big Excel. Nope, not that. Where's my finder? Come in here into download and then open them up. After I get them in Excel, I take it all, and then I put it into a bigger spreadsheet and just kind of group it like this. Oops, I can't paste. Why can't I paste? Let's try that. There we go. That works. What are these? Oh, kind of did it in reverse order here, but basically, right, so these are the pillars. So I will put the pillars on top. Right, like that. So once I go through and do the full keyword research, I end up just making an Excel sheet just like this. I've literally got one for my site. And some of these other columns over here, I delete them because the only thing I really care about is the volume and the keyword difficulty. So we can just delete them, right? And then we just go at it like this, and I've literally got a column for, date assigned, writer that it was assigned to, date completed, date published. And we literally just attack them from the top down like this, going supporting content. And, like I said, we're doing the pillars now, but if this were a new site, I would just go by attacking supporting content, then in a few months down the road, see what has momentum, and then go for publishing a long form pillar piece on those big seed/pillar keywords. So that's a wrap on this video, guys. If you guys have any questions on what I'm doing here with this keyword research stuff, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'm signing off on this one.